What up, new subscribers from Pokemon Spit Better, John here, and today I'm going to be bringing you an OU match using the Pokemon Showdown thingamajiggy, and we're going to get into this battle straight away. Like this video if you haven't, and go watch the Pokemon Spit Better video if you haven't already either. So my team consists of a Deoxys Defense, a Gliscor, Heatran, Landorus, Hydreigon and Rotom. Hydreigon is a big player in this game, Life Orb with the Fire Blast, does a good chunk to his team because it's got a Sizzle and a Lucario, which do not appreciate Fire Blast at all, and he's also got two psychic types in the form of Espeon and Latios, so a Dark Pulse from my Hydreigon will do a lot if I catch them on the switch, or I actually outspeed them. So Hydreigon is looking to be a very important player. I've got to work around Landorus with the U-turn and stuff like that, and I've got to make sure I get the advantage with the Volt turning and U-turning that I've got, Volt switching and U-turning that I've got on my team in Rotom Wash and Landorus. Well, he's also got U-turners as well in form of his own Landorus and his own Sizzle. So it's going to be interesting on how this plays out and who gets the advantage and all the momentum in the game. It could be very interesting. So let's get into this battle straight away. So I decided to leave my Landorus, wanting to get some sort of advantage now that I'm probably the fastest Pokemon on the field. As he leads with a Sizzle, I go for the U-turn and he follows up with his own U-turn as I go into my Gliscor. I kind of do reveal that I'm a Scarf set because most U-turn Landoruses carry the Scarf, and so I kind of revealed some pretty bad stuff early on in the game, but it may have been obvious considering the structure of my team, even though Hydreigon could be a viable choice Scarf as well. I go for the Protect with my Gliscor, so I can see what the Lantern wants to go for. If it goes for a move that I'm not favourable of, I'll switch out there and go into my Heatran or my Rotom Wash, depending on the move. So go to my Heatran knowing the Ice Beam is coming, but he actually switched that into his Landorus. Good plan on his part, so now I can Protect again with my Heatran and see what he's going to go for. And because most Landoruses are Scarfed, I can predict nicely and go into my Hydreigon, expecting it again. So now this gives me a perfect opportunity to lay down the law and go for a Draco Meteor and hopefully dent his team very, very harshly. And he goes into his Lantern, his special defensive wall. You cannot take a hit very well at all. It lives, which is woohoo, well done Lantern, but I could go for the Dark Pulse and just finishing it off. I do lose a bit of Life Orb damage. I was really hoping that it was Oko, but it's unfortunate. You can go into a Sizzle now. I know I outspeed and I know I won't go for the Bullet Punch. I could go for the Fire Blast, but not wanting to risk the miss, I go into my Rotom Wash to take the hit. Unfortunately, that was a bad play on my part because my Rotom Wash is no defense investment, and quite unfortunate. I was kind of predicting the Bullet Punch, and I didn't want to take a superpower if he did in fact switch thingy my Heatran coming in, predict my Heatran coming in. So his Espeon comes in, takes out my Rotom with the Psychic, and then it's Landorus face off. And I go for a U-turn. This is a good innovation for me because I know now that whenever I go into my Landorus, he'll switching his own Landorus, expecting the U-turn, which is great information for later on for me to have. So now I can go for the Protect on his Landorus and see what he's going to do. He's going to go for the U-turn, and I know he's going to U-turn again, but I don't know what into. And I predicted one of the Espeons, Sizzle or Lucario, and not the Latios, unfortunately. And I go for the Earthquake, predicting the switch, obviously, but I don't get the right end of it. I could have gone for the Ice Fang because I do carry Ice Fang, but unfortunately I did predict wrong. But it doesn't matter in the long run. I just go for the Protect, see what he's going to go for. He goes for Surf. Now I'm going to switch out accordingly because I don't want to take a Surf. I'll go into my Deoxys Defense, and because he's got an Espeon on his team, I'm really scared to go for the Stealth Rocks or the Spikes. So unfortunately I'm not going to get any of my hazards of this game as he just goes for the U-turn. I actually outspeed this Sizzle, so if I went for the Stealth Rocks then that would have been great. I would have got some residual damage going on, considering he's switching out quite a bit, and it would have been important. And it would have been important for him to get up some rocks, but I don't think he has any Stealth Rock users except for his Landorus, which obviously doesn't carry him because that's not a standard set. Woo! Okay, so Latios comes in now after the U-turn, and I am scared of the Surf, so I have to go into my Deoxys Defense as Death Fodder, and that's why I switched out previously to keep it alive as Death Fodder. So he takes me out, it gives me a free momentum switch into Landorus, and I can go for the U-turn or the Hidden Power Ice, predicting the Landorus switching because he did it last time. And boom, I take out the Landorus, and that is the biggest change in the game. This is what gets me in a very good advantage. I take away one of his U-turners, giving me the momentum for the rest of the game. Except for with a Sizzle, who can go for the U-turn anyway. So he has the momentum at the moment, but I still have the advantage knowing that his Landorus is dead and he can't pivot switch as much as he would like to. He goes into his Latios now. The Surf is obvious, but I don't want to save my Gliscor anymore. I don't need it considering the team he's got left. I can't touch most of this Pokemon, and so I can just use my Landorus now as a little scarer out to gain the momentum back into my favour, which I do. I could have predicted this and went for the Earthquake, knowing that none of his switches could take it. But I don't. I just go for the U-turn to get the advantage, and then I go to my Hydreigon, who can outspeed the Lucario and go for the Fire Blast and take him out. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. He then proceeds to go out into his Espeon, and I outspeed that as well, and I go for the Dark Balls and take it out. Damn, Hydreigon's doing some work. And Hydreigon is very bulky. It has good natural bulk and it can take a bullet punch from a Sizzle. I'm not sure what its set was, and if it was banded, that's just unlucky. He may have got a min-max damage, but I'm able to take him out of 5 bats. Luckily, do not miss, and that is pretty much a good game at this point in time because his Latios has to lock himself into a move. If he locks himself into Draco, he has to deal with my Heatran, and if he locks himself into Surf, my Landorus can outspeed anyway and go for the U-turn and almost take him out. He ends up forfeiting at this point because he knows he cannot win, and that is good game, Jaleel. So if you enjoyed this match, please leave a like rating and go check out the Pokemon Split Beta video. It'll be in the description, and you can watch it again if you have. If you haven't already, you can watch it. And if you've already watched it, watch it again, and go subscribe to me again. Woo! So anyway, thanks for watching and goodbye.